If you are over 60 and your legs feel heavier, weaker, colder, or more tired than they used to, you may think this is simply part of getting older. But aging is only part of the story. Inside your legs, two important systems are working every second. Your muscles, which allow you to stand, walk, climb stairs, and stay independent, and your blood vessels, which deliver oxygen and nutrients to those muscles. As we grow older, muscle strength can gradually decline. At the same time, blood vessels can become less flexible. Physical activity may decrease, and circulation can become less efficient. That combination may leave your legs feeling different from the way they did years ago. And this is where your evening food choices become interesting. Tonight, I'm going to show you 5 fruits that can be easy additions to an evening routine because they provide nutrients and plant compounds involved in muscle function, blood vessel health, antioxidant protection, and in the case of some fruits, even sleep quality. But there is something important you need to understand from the beginning. These fruits are not a cure for poor circulation, and they cannot rebuild lost muscle by themselves. Maintaining muscle after 60 also depends heavily on adequate protein and resistance exercise. Research in older adults consistently supports the importance of combining good nutrition with muscle-strengthening activity. Think of these fruits as supporting actors in a much bigger health story. And stay with me until number 1, because that fruit contains powerful red polyphenols that researchers have studied for their possible effects on blood vessel function and blood pressure. We begin with a fruit that almost everyone knows, but very few people think about in the context of aging muscles, too. Fruit number 5, banana. A simple fruit for muscle function. Picture yourself walking up a staircase. Every time you lift your body to the next step, millions of muscle fibers contract. Those contractions depend on electrical signals moving through nerves and muscle cells. And minerals, such as potassium, are deeply involved in this process. That is why potassium matters. Potassium is an essential mineral involved in normal nerve transmission and muscle contraction. It also plays a role in fluid balance and cardiovascular function. And bananas are one familiar dietary source. But here is where many people misunderstand the story. Eating a banana will not suddenly make weak legs strong. Instead, the value of potassium-rich foods is that they help your body maintain the mineral environment needed for normal muscle and nerve function. Potassium intake is also connected with blood pressure regulation. The NIH notes that higher potassium intake may help support healthier blood pressure, partly through effects on blood vessels and sodium balance. That matters because blood has to travel all the way from your heart into the arteries of your legs through smaller vessels. And and eventually into the tiny capillaries surrounding muscle tissue. For an evening snack, try half to one small banana, especially if you want something naturally sweet. And here is an even better strategy. Pair the banana with a source of protein, such as plain Greek yogurt or a small amount of unsweetened yogurt. Why? Because the fruit provides carbohydrates and micronutrients, while the yogurt provides protein your muscles actually need for maintenance. That combination is much more useful for older adults than thinking of fruit alone as a muscle-building food. One caution: people with kidney disease or conditions requiring potassium restriction may need individualized advice about potassium-rich foods. Certain medications can also affect potassium levels. Now, the next fruit takes us in a completely different direction, because supporting your legs is not only about what happens while you are awake, recovery also happens while you sleep. 3. Fruit number 4. Tart cherries. The nighttime recovery fruit. Imagine your body at 2 o'clock in the morning. You are not walking, you are not exercising, you are not consciously doing anything, but your body is still working. Your nervous system is regulating itself. Your tissues are recovering. Hormones are being released according to your sleep-wake rhythm, and poor sleep can make almost everything feel harder the next day, including physical activity. This is why tart cherries are especially interesting in an evening video. Tart cherries contain anthocyanins, the dark red-purple plant pigments found in many colorful fruits. They have also attracted research attention because tart cherry products naturally contain compounds associated with sleep regulation. Small studies involving adults, including older adults with insomnia, have reported improvements in some sleep measures after tart cherry juice consumption. The evidence is promising, but it is still limited enough that tart cherry juice should not be presented as a treatment for insomnia. And why does sleep matter for your legs? Because stronger legs are built through a cycle: activity, nutrition, recovery, repeat. If poor sleep leaves you exhausted, you may move less the following day. And the less you move, the less stimulation your muscles receive. That can become a dangerous cycle. After 60, you feel weak. So you walk less so your muscles receive less challenge. Your muscles weaken further, so movement becomes even more difficult. Breaking that cycle matters. If you enjoy tart cherries, try a small serving of unsweetened tart cherries in the evening. If you use tart cherry juice, pay attention to portions and added sugar. Many commercial cherry drinks contain significantly more sugar than people realize. Whole fruit has another advantage. It provides fiber. You could combine a few tart cherries with plain yogurt, creating a snack that brings together fruit polyphenols and protein. But the next fruit gives us something tart cherries do not provide in the same way. a nutrient your body literally uses to construct connective tissue. 4. Fruit number 3, kiwi. Vitamin C, connective tissue. And sleep, cut open a kiwi and look closely. Bright green flesh. Tiny black seeds. A surprisingly powerful nutritional package hidden inside a small fruit. One of kiwi's most important nutrients is vitamin C. Most people hear vitamin C and immediately think about immunity. But vitamin C has another crucial function. Your body needs it to produce collagen. Collagen is a major structural protein found in connective tissues throughout the body. Vitamin C also acts as an antioxidant, helping protect cells from oxidative damage. Think of collagen like part of your body's biological scaffolding. Muscles do not operate in isolation. They connect the tendons. Your joints depend on surrounding connective tissues. Blood vessels also contain structural proteins that help maintain their integrity. That does not mean eating kiwi directly repairs your arteries or knees overnight. Nutrition does not work that way. Instead, kiwi helps provide nutrients your body uses as part of its normal maintenance processes. And kiwi has another reason for appearing in an evening video. A small study in adults with self-reported sleep problems found that eating kiwi fruit before bedtime was associated with improvements in several subjective sleep measurements after several weeks. Researchers have emphasized that more investigation is needed. So here is a very practical evening option. Slice one kiwi into plain Greek yolk. Now you have vitamin C and fruit compounds from the kiwi combined with protein from yogurt. That is a far smarter nighttime snack for muscle health than cookies, pastries, or highly processed desserts. And there is another advantage. It feels like dessert. That matters. A healthy eating pattern only works when you can actually live with it. Now we move to number 2. And this tiny blue fruit may have one of the most interesting connections to blood vessel function on our entire list. 5. Fruit number 2, blueberries. Supporting the blood vessels that feed your legs contain an extraordinary network of blood vessels. Large arteries branch into smaller arteries. Those vessels divide again. Eventually, blood reaches microscopic capillaries surrounding your tissue. Imagine highways becoming roads, roads becoming streets, and streets becoming tiny pathways delivering oxygen directly to your cells. The health of that vascular network matters enormously. And this is where blueberries become fascinating. Their dark blue color comes largely from anthocyanins, a family of polyphenols researchers have studied for potential cardiovascular effects. Clinical research has found that blueberry consumption can improve certain measurements of endothelial function. The endothelium is the thin layer of cells lining the inside of your blood vessels. You can think of it as the intelligent inner surface of your vascular system. When endothelial function is healthier, blood vessels are better able to respond to the body's changing needs. research has found vascular effects from blueberries in several populations. And a study in older adults reported improvements in peripheral vascular function after blueberry consumption. Although researchers noted that more studies are needed, this is important because we should never turn promising nutrition research into exaggerated promises. Blueberries do not unclog your arteries overnight. They do not replace blood pressure medication. They do not treat peripheral artery disease, but they can fit beautifully into a dietary pattern designed to support cardiovascular health. A practical serving could be a small handful to about half a cup of blueberries. Fresh or frozen, both work. Add them to yogurt. Mix them with a few walnuts, or simply eat them slowly after dinner instead of reaching for ice cream. And here is something else I want you to notice. The healthiest foods often work quietly. There is no dramatic sensation, no tingling, no instant rush of energy. Instead, their value comes from what happens when good choices are repeated. Night after night, week after week, month after month. And now we arrive at number 1. A fruit whose ruby red seeds look almost like tiny jewels and whose compounds have attracted significant attention in cardiovascular research. SACE. Fruit number 1, pomegranate. The ruby red fruit for vascular support. Open a pomegranate and you immediately understand why ancient cultures considered it special. Hundreds of brilliant red seeds are packed inside. But behind that color is chemistry. Pomegranate contains a variety of polyphenols, plant compounds with antioxidant properties. Why does that matter? Because your blood vessels are constantly exposed to metabolic stress. Oxidative stress occurs when the balance between unstable molecules, called free radicals, and the body's protective system shifts in an unfavorable direction. Over time, oxidative stress and inflammation are involved in many processes associated with cardiovascular aging. Pomegranate has therefore been studied for its possible effects on blood pressure, inflammation, and endothelial health. Clinical studies and research reviews suggest pomegranate consumption may favorably influence some markers of cardiovascular health. Although results vary depending on the population, dose, and outcome measured, think about your blood vessels like flexible garden hoses. When the inner lining is functioning properly, the vessel can respond more effectively when tissues require additional blood flow. When you stand, when you walk, when you climb stairs. Leg muscles begin demanding more oxygen. That is why cardiovascular health and leg function are connected. You cannot separate healthy muscles from the system, delivering blood to those muscles. For an evening routine, try a small portion of fresh pomegranate arrows. Sprinkle them over plain yogurt, add them to a small fruit bowl with blueberries, or include them earlier in your evening meal. Whole pomegranate seeds are usually a better everyday choice than drinking large glasses of sweetened pomegranate beverages, because whole fruit gives you fiber and encourages reasonable portions. And notice something about our list. There is no single miracle fruit. Banana contributes useful minerals. Tart cherries have interesting sleep-related research. Kiwi provides vitamin C and may fit well into a nighttime routine. Blueberries provide anthocyanins, studied for vascular function. Pomegranate provides a different mixture of polyphenols studied in cardiovascular health. But the real transformation begins when these foods replace something worse. When blueberries replace cookies, when kiwi replaces cake, when cherries replace candy. When fruit and yogurt replace an ultra-processed dessert, that is when one simple evening habit begins influencing the bigger picture. The nighttime routine that really protects your legs. So what should you remember from this video? If you are over 60, do not wait until your legs become noticeably weaker before paying attention to them. Your legs are more than muscles. They are your independent. They allow you to walk through the grocery store, get out of a chair, climb the stairs, travel, play with grandchildren, and continue doing the things that make life feel like life. The 5 fruits we discussed today are: number 5, banana, for potassium and normal muscle and nerve function. Number 4, tart cherries, especially interesting because of their polyphenols and emerging research on sleep. Number 3, kiwi, rich in vitamin C, which your body needs for collagen production, with some interesting sleep research as well. Number 2, blueberries, rich in anthocyanins that have been studied for their effects on endothelial and vascular function. And number 1, pomegranate, a polyphenol-rich fruit studied for several cardiovascular markers. But I want to leave you with the most important message of this entire video. Do not expect fruit to do the job your muscles are waiting for you to do. Your muscles need to be used. Simple activities such as walking, repeatedly standing from a chair, climbing stairs when appropriate, and resistance exercises can challenge muscle tissue, and your muscles need protein. Research in older adults shows that dietary protein can enhance the effects of resistance exercise on muscle-related outcomes. So imagine a better evening routine. Instead of a heavily processed dessert, you have some yogurt with blueberries and kiwi. You take a gentle evening walk. If that is appropriate for you, you'll sleep. And the next day, you challenge your legs again. No miracle, no overnight cure. Just small decisions repeated long enough to become powerful. And remember, persistent leg pain, swelling, sudden weakness, unusual coldness, skin color changes, or pain while walking can have medical causes and should not simply be blamed on aging or treated with food alone. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 fruits do you already eat? banana, tart cherries, kiwi, blueberries, or pomegranate? Write your answer in the comments below. And if you are over 60, or you have someone you love who wants to remain strong, active, and independent, share this video with them. If this information helped you, press the like button, subscribe to Healthy Fruits, and turn on notifications, because here we explain how everyday foods can support healthier aging using practical nutrition and real science. Your body is changing, but the choices you make tonight can still influence the way you move tomorrow.